Let's talk with Andrew Love.
Sometimes as parents, you've lived more of your life than anything, and you want to make sure your kids have an opportunity what their
Yes.
dreams and wants are.
Yes.
And it wasn't a day that we did not regret coming to Georgia.
Mm.
So when we got to Georgia, like I said, Joycelyn had worked with plenty of artists. Jumbo on the Track, which wrote the Wobble song,
Mhm.
high-end producers. So we've always been around our girls when they was writing music or doing music. That was their love.
Mm.
But also we opened up a clothing store. I was in the automobile industry business for a while. And when we had two clothing stores, my wife asked me to quit, and she wanted me to work with her solely in the clothing stores, because we went from one store in Buckhead, then we went to another store in Old National. And I ran the store in Buckhead because it was more, how can I say, snooty, or so you can say, or a more different type of clothing. No, National Store had more urban wear. And Jonathan and the girls loved Old National. Not just because of the store per se, right? It was because they helped people that who needed things. And my wife loved to help people in need. She helped people get off the street. She helped women who was prostituting out on Old National. She took people in, got them assistance. She's done everything, and that was her calling, to help women that who was in need in that area. So she liked it over there because she felt she was filling a void at the same time, giving clothes to people free that who needed clothes, that couldn't afford clothes. Those are the type of things that we did as a family in that area of Old National. And, people respected us to the fullest. But one day, and get to the answer to the point, and I know that how did we get into this situation of meeting with Robert Sylvester Kelly? And I call him Mr. Kelly. I always have called him that. Kevin Giles was R. Kelly's manager, road manager, but he also managed other artists like Frankie Beverly and Mays. He also managed other artists, right? But one day a lady came into the clothing store, and she said, "Oh, these girls." She said, "What is that on?" So I like that music, right? And it was Joycelyn's EP. EP is a song where you do a music setting of like 3 songs, and they've been produced, mixed down, everything, right?
Right.
So she was listening to Joycelyn's EP. She said, "Oh, I know somebody that can help your daughter get in the industry." I said, "Well, she's pretty much, moving at her turtle pace." You understand? Because she's been performing in at stages and certain environments. Before we met Kevin, we had just got back from Florida from performing on stage with a couple people down there. So she had been moving. So the young lady said, "Well, I got a good friend of hers," which was her ex-boyfriend. She said it was my ex-boyfriend because she was originally from Chicago, and she visited the store 4 or 5 times after, she met the girls the first time. So she was a local person that came into the store that didn't mind supporting the store at the same time. So we built a little trust with her from knowing her coming into the store shopping all the time, right? So she said, "I got a friend named Kevin Giles." She came in about 3 or 4 times afterwards. Said, "I got a friend named Kevin Giles," which was R. Kelly's road manager, but also a part of Sony. And she said, "I'm going to see if I can get him to, talk to you and talk to the girls." I said, "Oh, that'd be nice if you got somebody that's in that environment that will be able to talk with Sony." And I know that he was, R. Kelly's road manager, and he did some things for R. Kelly. So that wasn't a problem to my extent at that time. So I said, "Okay, set the meeting up." So we set the meeting up. We sent over EP. And Kevin Giles got back with us. He said, man, Sony liked it. He said, R. Kelly likes it. I said, oh, you sent it to R. Kelly also. So it wasn't about indirectly meeting R. Kelly, but when he mentioned me that he had sent it to R. Kelly, I said, wow, because R. Kelly was a big producer. He produced a lot of people, And so at that time, he went into saying, man, R. Kelly's going to be here at Funk Fest, and he really would like to meet the girls. When I say girls, I'm talking about Joycelyn and Jalen. I said, well, I don't know, man. He said he really would like to meet them at the Funk Fest. I said, okay, I'll make it happen. So I took them to the Funk Fest, and it was late.
Let me just ask you one question. You said at first, I don't know. What was the doubt? You had a little bit of doubt.
Well, it was late night. These are young girls. And I just didn't know about taking them out that late at night. It's a lot of things can happen to any girls at any time. And I'm a firm believer. I've been carjacked, I've been kidnapped, had all these things happen to me. So that's a whole nother story.
Okay.
So I'm very aware, and I want to make sure my girls are safe. But he said, man, don't worry, Savage. He said, I'll take good care of them. He said, I'll meet you at the hotel, and we'll leave from the hotel, and we'll go to the Funk Fest. He said, I got tight security. He said, trust me, I got your girls. Don't worry about it. I said, man, I hold you accountable for my daughters. Let's stay at the hotel in the lobby, because we met in the lobby. And it's a big hotel. I can't think of the name. It was over by the airport. So
okay, and how old was Joycelyn and your daughter at the time?
Joycelyn was I think she was about 18. She had just turned 18. She was 18 going on 19, something like that, right? And my other daughter, she was much younger. She's probably like 14, about 14, 15.
Okay.
And because they're about 4 years apart, about 3 to 4 years apart, somewhere along there.
Okay.
And so they went to the Funk Fest, and they sent me video. It's all, Dad, he got us back behind stage, and we see all the people, and it's just so much fun. I said, yeah, I that's what I wanted him to do, take care of you, so you can see a bigger event, a bigger performance than what you normally perform on stage at other events. So I want you to see a bigger crowd and a bigger event. So by the time they got ready to go, it was probably about 3, because the show was over about 3 something, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he called me. He said, well, let's get before that.
Okay.
Joycelyn and Jalen was headed back to the car, where the van or whatever they was in.
Mm-hmm.
And now this is where the predatory part comes in, because this is from my daughter, Jalen. Not from me, but these are facts. These are from my daughter. And Jalen was saying that as they was walking back to the car, some young kid about Joycelyn age, maybe a little bit younger, I guess they called him nephew. But the guy walked up to Joycelyn and handed Joycelyn like a business card, but it had a number on the back, but it didn't have a name listed on it for the number. And he said, here's my number, call me. You follow me?
Mm-hmm. And
Jalen said, who is that? Joycelyn said, I don't know. I just got the card. And this boy, he was kind of cute. That's what she said, right? Because the boy was closer to Jalen's age. Joycelyn's age. Joycelyn's about 18 going on 19. So he had to be about at least 20 or somewhere in that frame, or maybe a little bit older. I'm not for sure. But they call him nephew. That's what they called him. So when he got in the car, he had asked Jalen and Joycelyn, he said, you got the number, right? She said, what number? How do you know I got a number? He said, yeah, that's R. Kelly's number.